Hello and welcome back to Evening Rust. I'm edA-qa mort-ora-y and we're here to battle it out in Rust and learn a bit more about the language and to do fun and games over at Coding Game here. We're going to go into it. The way I like to start the show is I like to quickly jump into one of these coding battles. And there are three different modes we have. One where you just got to be fast. One where we have golf, which we always lose in Rust, but they're still a good challenge for us because we have a hard time solving them. I mean, I don't even know a lot of the language yet, so it's still quite hard. And just yesterday, sorry, I did it offline. I got a reverse engineering one, which I did very poorly on. Okay, I mean, I could have done a little bit better, but I got stuck on one compiler here for about 10 minutes, and you only got 15 minutes, so it was a little bit rough. And I think I solved one of the issues, 25%. I got a 25% completion rate, which still got us number 3, which is pretty cool. And today I guess we'll be playing against Ion Codes here, and he should be able to beat us. You're going to beat us, right, Ion Codes? Come on, you can do better than us. See, now he's got us laughing at us too, but okay. Yeah, so, and we're just waiting for a couple more players. We'll see what happens. Alright, so now I'm going to start, and depending on what it was, I don't know what happened. What is it? Usually the speed ones come in. Sure. Lowest code size. So we're golfing today. That's really bad in Rust, but let's see what actually happens. Given a natural number n, count the number of ways to write it as a product of any pair of natural numbers a, b. For example, with n equals 2, we can write it as 2 times 1 or 1 times 2. So we have 2 ways to write it as a times b. A natural number n, a natural number with a number of ways to write it a, n is a, b. 2 to the 64th minus 1. Okay, good. Number of ways. We say the number of ways, so not the actual ways. So we're going to parse this as an I-64. And then we're going to say the max is I think we're going to have to do this as a square root. I want the square root because that's the maximum of the number times itself can possibly be. Maximum square root, I'm going to say as I-64 would convert back and forth. I'm just guessing I have to do this in Rust. That square root's not going to take anything. And then we're going to let c equals 0. And for I in 0, we're just doing this the most brain dead way we can think of. It's not going to be fast, and that's not our concern whatsoever. And let's just do it away. Let's do the divisor. Div equals n divided by I. If div times I equals n, then we have one. Then we have a count, right? So that's one that matches. And in the end, we're going to print out how many we had matching and see what happens. I wish this was a speed one. Wait until I get this right. Attempt to divide by 0. Okay, so don't divide by 0. Lesson number 1. Probably pretty bad to do that. And found 1, expected 4. So let's put some quick debug information here and see what we got. Print line did something wrong here, n comma max. Try it again. I always forget the exclamation mark in the macros. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just keep forgetting them. I mean, 8 and 2. What's the square root of 8? 2. Well, obviously that's not right. Why did I say square root? That was stupid. Sorry. Square root's a dumb idea. Let's just do it the slow way. Let's do it the super slow way and not care about optimization whatsoever. It's actually going to save us some code because it's code golf anyways. Found 3, expected 4. So these are reversed as well. Now why are we missing it? Let's just try all of them, see if we get any of them right. We got one wrong. So we're always 1 off. Why is the reason why are we 1 off? Is this one too? Oh wait, well we're going to have a problem here that's going to be too slow. So that's going to be an issue as well. And alright. So we're going to be too slow as well as being wrong. So we're not playing golf at this point. We're just trying to solve the problem. And we're doing it poorly. But let's solve the initial one first. Let's figure out why we get 3 instead of 4. Let's print all of them off here. And what do we have? ePrint line. I'm not very fast at this. Sometimes I just get these wrong. I'm going to fail golf anyways, but it's not a reason not to try. I, div. And what do we have? 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 4 times 2, and 8 times 1. That's why we have to do the last one as well. Okay, then we should really actually go in half. We don't really need to do all of them because the moment we hit the halfway point, we know that the 2's there. And yeah, that's Steve. That's exactly what I was thinking. At first, I thought we're a root, but we can just do half. And I don't know if that's going to kill. We're still going to probably have too many test cases there. But let's find out. Let's do n plus 1 divided by 2. N divided by 2 plus 1 probably. And then for each count, we just add up by 2. Found 6. Probably not plus 1 anymore. Uh-oh. And we're still going to be too slow. So we have to find an issue here. Why? N divided by 2 is still wrong. Why is that? Why is n divided by 2 wrong? So we've got 124, 212, 38, 46, 64, 83. Because we're duplicating that one, so it's not n divided by 2, it's something else. Actually, I know what it is. Let's go like this. Let max equal to n. How do I do a dynamic range here? This is going to be a problem. Not 1 to max. Let's do let mort-ora-y equal 1 while I is less than max. And then max equals max.min div. So we're going to step down. Every time we have a match, we just duplicate it because we know it goes both ways. And I got an error here. And this has to be a mutt. So we're not even golfing at this point, which is really... This is supposed to be a golf one, and we did something wrong. So okay, we should really increment I as well. Golf or no, I just want to get this right now in a reasonable speed. Okay, this is going to be too slow. Alright, so we're going to have a problem that we have... So we get that one right. So we get 1 wrong. And it's a bit weird that we get this one wrong. Like, this is a huge number. Why we get... How can we do this faster? I mean... Is it just a matter we realize that Rust is being compiled in debug mode, but is there any way we can actually do this faster? I was doing square root before, and but we shouldn't have to do that now. Because what I have is I have this max is that I'm actually going up to max. So as we find them counting up, it's going to bring the top down. So that'll naturally find the square root as well. And that's why I'm counting them twice already. So the square root won't help us because it'll actually find that point. It'll find that point on its own, I think. Because as soon as we hit any one, it's going to cut it in half. But it looks like we're still too slow. Is there any way we can optimize this to skip numbers? No, it's not prime numbers. It could literally be any number. How on earth could we actually speed that up then? Do you think so? And what extra taste do I have to put? Because that's why does that work? I times I is less than max. I'm not sure why that works, but let's go with it. Do they all work? Okay, and you said, and count them twice if I times I does not equal n. Where do I do that? Right here? Do you really think that is if I times I does not equal n? Count them 4 times because we're counting twice normally. Or less than or equals. Okay. Nope. But your initial intuition said to do this. Found 12. Nope. Okay, so why is this not working? 124, 3838. No, because we're bringing max down too much. So it doesn't find the 6. So this is going to break as soon as we hit the 6 here, right? This I times I is just not going to hit the 6. So we're just getting lucky on the next one. I don't know how, right? Because after this 3, 8 here, we have an 8. And so everything squared has to be less than 8, which means we missed the 6, which is a problem. And I don't know how we can do that. But we can't go any faster. Well, less than n works. Not max, I shouldn't reduce it. I'll try it. Huh. Now I wonder why my square root didn't work first. That's strange, because initially I had square root. Right? I'm curious as to why it didn't work, but let's just focus on getting the size down now. Forget what I had. I tried square root at first and I screwed something up, so I don't know what it is. And we can't get rid of parse input. We don't know how to yet. And there's only so much we can golf out of here. Like, this is pretty big rust, and we can get this out of the way. And n divided by I, this is actually going to be smaller if I do this. N divided by I times. We'll just do some basic stuff. This saves a little bit of code, not a lot. Let's see if this still works. Uh-oh. I don't need the max anymore because I'm not using it, which is good. I don't really care to get rid of a white space, but this stuff up here, this is really unfortunate. I just can't get rid of this. And this parse input, we can make this smaller just by getting rid of the, in this case, we can get rid of the input line dot parse I64 dot unwrap. That only helps because we have the one parsing, so it's a bit smaller. Doesn't help a lot though. We're not getting so much down in golf. What else can we do? How can we get this smaller? I wish I knew how to get this smaller, because this code is getting not so much big by comparison. Could we have less items here? I wonder if we could do something stupid like this. And say C1 times C1 C0 C1 C0. Let's see if this works. This might be scary. We might have to reverse that. I don't have much time to check that. Alright, that's something gone wrong there. Found 63 dot dot. Well, that's stupid. Okay, well, let's reverse that. I made a mistake, and I don't think I have enough time to fix that, so I'm going to go back to here. Which makes us just keep working, and I don't know how to print smaller. We can clean up a little bit of white space. Should we clean up the white space and just get rid of that? It's going to be really ugly, because this doesn't save us a lot. I don't know how to fundamentally make this any smaller. And what we could do is if n mod I equals 0, that should work. Yeah, I don't know if I want to remove indents before the last minute, because then I'm going to not be able to identify my code, right? And the mut would be more. So let's just do it this way. Let's pack this down a little bit. We lose all structure, but hey, it's golf. Let's see. I'll just keep making sure we're... Alright, we're down to 255 in Rust, and we can just do the stupid stuff because it's semicolon based. And this editor doesn't go far enough over. That really sucks. So I'm just going to put it in a couple lines because it doesn't go far enough over. And let's make sure we didn't break anything. Alright, I'm just going to, okay, we can get rid of a couple more. And then we'll submit it before I break something bad. Okay, and well, this is good news if we're at 100%. And Ion Codes, you got an error. We had a problem that our loop was too slow, and I think it's because Rust was in debug mode if we were in release mode. But thankfully, Euler Schizal, or Euler Schizal, okay, Euler Schizal helped us to figure that one out. And wow, are we gonna win a code golf one? That would almost be weird. We did it in Rust. We're so that was a really hard one for golf, I think. Because I don't think the purpose of golf is supposed to be can you solve it? It's supposed to can you solve it small. And we actually solved it. There we go. One other guy got it. One other guy got it in Python 3. And it's really tiny. Our code is going to look really terrible. I probably couldn't have got a few more spaces out of here, but really, we just can't compete with 117. There's no way I'm getting 100 more characters out of here. And I really wish they just ran a minimizer on its own. That would be nicer. It'd actually be more fair if just at the end they ran like a white space minimizer, other than us fighting for the last little bits. But we came in second, which is really cool. For Rust, and let's see how they did it in Python. Two times d equals. I didn't quite the inputs. Yeah, see, look how much save they save right here. This was half our code. Half our code was reading in this n, and there was nothing we can do about that, as far as I know. And this was what I tried initially, and something went wrong, and that's why we backed out to the other one. But actually, the approach we ended up taking is smaller than calling a square root. So he could have got this down a little bit more, I think, just by getting rid of it. And r and d equals 0. See, you don't have to do any let mutt. So I think the actual amount of functional code he has is actually about the same size as ours. It's just the overhead of Rust. There's just no way around that. Not sure why he did less than 1. There's some weird syntax here. 1 and that's the colon. Okay, r plus 1. That's fine. Range 1 comma m plus 1. Yeah, this is what I tried originally, and we just did it with n plus 1. So if he actually took the same approach we did, I think he'd actually save a tiny bit of code. And 2 times r minus d, I'm not sure clear on that, why he does that. But whatever. So he won. Good job. And let's go follow him, because hey, why not? He beat us, we can do that. And we're Clash rank. Actually, I want to see, did anybody else actually attempt Rust? No, Ruby. Nobody attempted Rust. Alright, so here we go. Let me show you where the state was last time of our code. So last time we were here, what we're not going to do today is we were playing Tron. And I'm back to 336, which is unfortunate. I must have submitted something wrong. What I did yesterday is after we finished, I cleaned it up one thing and submitted again, and we got back up to 75. And the simple case was, if I just stopped looking ahead, our algorithm got us all the way to 75, and it's a little bit of tweaking. Then I played a lot with the scoring. And I'll show you a little bit of the question points. And the question points are, how could we actually improve this? And I'm going to admit the big one first. I'm going to go through and tell you all the little simple ones first, what I did and how they made a difference, because we're going to come back to this game at some point. Okay, so now the first one we had is, ignore that, read step, board is free, get near players. We added this get near players which allows us to say, check if the paths, if we actually border on any paths. Yeah, Ion Coach, I was at 75, but then I submitted some garbage. So we were at 75, and then we got garbage, and I haven't bothered submitting the one that works again. And I'll explain why. I mean, we'll come back to this. We're going to get Legendary, not in this show, but we'll come back to this at some point and get Legendary, and I'll tell you why in a second, why I'm not doing it now. And for score location, what I did is then we added get near players, and we took the maximum and total of the players, and I played with this a lot. I played with this a lot offline. How can we adjust the players of the other scores? And it makes a difference, but not a big difference. It makes a minor difference for whether we subtract the total score, the nearest score, the maximum score, the neighboring score. It all helped a little bit, but not enough. Not enough to make an overall difference. And, well, at the moment, Ion Code, you're better than us, okay? You don't have to trust me with the 75. I have submitted it. We'll get it back there, though. Okay, and the block board, we got this score cell. I modified score cell. What score cell now does is, instead of just adding 1 for all the empty cells, it looks at all the walls beside it. And it says the ones beside it, if you have a wall beside it, it's worth less. So a cell is automatically worth 4, and then it's worth an extra point for everything where there's no wall beside this. What this helps is in the wall hugging. When it's looking for skells, it's going to hug the wall, because when it consumes those, it leaves more score in the open area. This helped. This helped a little bit. You can watch them hug walls, but not enough to make a big difference. Okay. Count scores is about the same. Nothing changed there. Fill, nothing changed there. This little bit I had commented out. This is required if you don't do look ahead. If you're not doing any look ahead, this one helps you a little bit. Actually, it helps quite a lot, but it's very complicated, and it's unquestionably has errors in it, so we just removed it and said we're going to have look ahead instead, and look ahead basically replaces it. This is the one that prevents you from splitting your own area. Okay, and so we calculated clear players. Find best next direction, very clear forward. I didn't fix anything there, just changed the name. Scoring is all standard. And so those little changes, those are all I really did. And none of us got us higher. Still, what happened is when we got, in this find next best dir, the higher I make this number, and this is our depth, our lookalike depth. If I put this to 5, you'd think we'd improve, but we actually just get kind of random. The best number here is 0. That's where I got my 75 from. 1, does about the same. 2 starts going down. And it all comes down to one thing, as far as I can tell. When we're playing the opponent players right here, I'm guessing their location. I'm guessing where they're going. And I'm not guessing very well. What happens is I say, well, take him closest to my head. And I had a couple test cases which actually showed that was like the stupidest thing for the computer to do. And so we're actually following paths that are really, really bad for us. And that's why look ahead's not helping. And so look ahead just not doing what we want. And the way I found this out, actually I said, and so that was it. This is the biggest thing right here. So all that other scoring stuff, which is very important, and it's going to become important in Legendary, I'm pretty sure, it's just not helping us here because fundamentally this is the problem. We're not estimating the opponent correctly. And what was the other option here? The other option was right above it. This one little bit of code here, which is coming out one line, much nicer looking. We judge the opponent based on exactly what we would do. We call score next direction and say, well, what do you want to do? If this were you, what would you do? And we follow our exact strategy. This works wonderfully well. I know it works well because every time we had a stupid move, and I tracked several of these, I have actually 3 copied down, I actually created this file format, and in the code, I dump the state. So down here, I do a dump, and if you put this dump into a file, you can actually run it externally here. So I have the main here. If there's a environment variable called mort-ora-y debug, it's going to debug the game instead. It loads that file and it looks at the next moves and tells you what's going to happen. And that was very simple. Every time I comment this back in, this line, when I say base their strategy on ours, we make the correct move. It's really very simple. It resolved all the places where we made a stupid move. So this code here is broken. This code here is great. So why don't I have it commented in? It's because of this comment right here. We're running in debug mode on the server. We don't have enough time to do this. It's so slow that we can't even do a depth of 1 with 4 players, which means we have to do this fast one. And so I started thinking like, okay, so what options do we have? We can just wait around until they enable release mode in the server. And I imagine if we wait long enough, if there's a message ever saying we've done release mode, we can just come back here, comment this out, and we should be doing better. Or the other option is to start optimizing score next year. And the reason why I don't want to do that now, because that's our only option right now, is because I'm not quite comfortable enough with Rust yet to know how to do the profiling and what precisely is actually causing our errors. I have some general ideas. We have some very bad algorithms, but like there's nothing magic. The one I think is we do like scoring 3 times. I think with a bit of trickery I can get it down to 1. But in order to do like 3 or 4 look ahead, I'm going to have to do some amazing optimization here because it's just so much. And I think I have to get a little bit more comfortable with Rust before that do it. So I'm going to leave that. Yeah, Zaga, that is also true, but we can also compile it as... You can send a binary. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to look at that offline. But yeah, Zaga, we can actually... We can do profiling in debug mode as well. This function's taking so long, you can probably count it on your fingers. 1, 2... I estimate this function here is taking over a millisecond. We have 100 milliseconds, and I'm thinking this one's taking over a milliseconds. But that's... Thank you very much for that link there. That if we can actually send a binary, that would be wonderful. It says safe link to copy. Oh, I copied too much. Copy. Flagged as a cheat during contest. Yeah, Zaglev, I know it's going to be difficult to optimize, but that's why I'm saying I'm going to push it offline because I think I have algorithmic optimizations first. I can reduce the order of the algorithm a lot, in which case it won't make a difference for the low-level optimizations. And then I can do a simple profiling whether allocation can do it. Can still do it in multiplayers. Alright, so Euler that's a good point. If we want, we could try it this way. I'm not going to do it now. I'd prefer to move on right now. We'll come back to Tron, though. And we're going to arm ourselves with more knowledge. And Converse 64 texting. This is wacky. This is seriously, it recreates this. Okay, so some guys have taken this really seriously. That's really cool. I'm going to have to use this just for the hell of it, and we'll have to see how big that file is. But not right now. We'll do it offline. For now, let's move on to a different contest. And I don't want to do a bot thing right now. I need a break from the bots. We've been doing 2 bots, and I need to do something else. Let's do a compete, though, or shall we do practice? No, let's stick with compete, but let's find something that's not bot programming. We either have code golf or optimization. Now, code golf is so wonderful in Rust. Do we really want to do code golf, or should we just do optimization? Let's do optimization then. Figure that out. I'm pretty sure if we're just looking to improve rank, we can do golf eventually. I mean, it doesn't hurt us, but we're just not going to get a very good score. And I also not getting a good score because not just because of Rust, because we just don't know what we're doing. So let's see what we have in our optimization. Does anybody know any fun ones in here? And code versus zombies. I've seen that one. Mars Lander, no. Just no. We still have to solve the practice one. Pattern recognition optimization, no. Optimization, code of the ring. You really great. Okay, now we've got a contest between bin packing and pattern recognition. And easy. Okay, Jasper has the magic words. Easy gets started with. Well, let's get started with that then. Story and iron codes TGD. Okay, so you both agree. TGD, good, let's go with it. Alright, Sneak all of your hard-earned gold past a group of malicious bandits by computing the near-optimal way to store boxes in your convoy. This is the knapsack problem. Did you guys just give me the knapsack problem? Yeah. The closer the weight of all the trucks, the better you do. Compare your optimization score with the rest of the coding game to earn a special chance to join a top global US bank's quantitative strategies team. You know, I've been on a finance team, and I can't possibly imagine how bin packing would be applicable to their strategy. Okay, multi-knapsack, fun. Easy to get started because we're just going to brute force this. I'm assuming it's a time limit that kills us. Wow, that's a lot of rules. Let's just skip down. Or show. Now let's read the flavor. You are a great tycoon who needs to move materials, equipment, and gold from Chicago to New York to build your next skyscraper. Incidentally, the financial company I worked at was actually in Chicago. So, you know, maybe it's them, and there's riches. You have a convoy of 100 trucks and a variable amount of boxes to move. Unfortunately, there are unscrupulous villains who would like to steal the gold from one of your shipments. They work at the highway weigh station and plan to pillage a truck that holds gold. They think the trucks with gold will be much heavier than trucks without. Your mission is to sneak the gold past by distributing the boxes across the trucks in a way that the lightest truck and the heaviest truck weigh almost the same amount. The villains have sophisticated contraption that will tell them the largest weight difference of a convoy. The higher the difference, the more likely the heaviest trucks contain gold. In order to minimize the chances of an attack on one of the trucks, you can outsmart them with a strong algorithm to allocate the boxes. You are given a list of boxes, each with a weight and a volume. Your code must output for each box in the same order as they were given. In which of the 100 trucks labeled 0 to 100, you decide to place that box. Each truck can carry a maximum volume of boxes of 100. You should assume the box volumes simply add together on a given truck. There's no limit on the weight of the boxes. If you successfully place each box in the trucks, you will be awarded delta score corresponding to the weight difference of your heaviest and lightest trucks. You will be ranked according to the sum of this value for every validation test case. The lower, the better. Alright, what do we have with here? How many swaps do you do in those 50 seconds? 50 seconds? Is that how long I have? 50 seconds! Wow, okay, we're going to have to do a bit quicker at first, because we're in 50 seconds. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Do we want to start solving knapsacky way, or do we want to just start something randomly? One integer count, the number of boxes to distribute. Two floating point values are the most 18 characters, weight and volume, the stats of each box. And okay, so what does it look like? Next box count lines. The two floating point values over at most. Weight and volume. Okay, so we have weight and volume. And we have to print one line with all of them. Well, that's going to challenge my Rust, so. I'm curious. How many boxes do we have? I and 0 ... box count. I'm just curious to see if we can win something by actually just printing out the orders. We just say I mod 100. I want to see what happens here. Okay, based on what the comments are already, we're gonna struggle with debug mode, but let's wait till we get there. And all right. Oh, we should put a space in here. Alright, so my fun, silly, stupid test means at least the first test case, you can't just put everything on there. So we're going to start swapping boxes, and so they're already giving us a strategy here, Jasper and stuff. We're going to start doing swaps. And I guess we take the ones with the what do we want? We want to have a when the truck is too full or it's too heavy, then we start swapping. Alright, but enough with this code here. We're going to go back to our editor here. We're going to synchronize this so we can actually see this thing at a reasonable point. Alright, so what do we do here? We didn't want to save anything. Okay. I like how you said just arranging them in a smart way initially until okay, so we'll take the heaviest ones. We start with the heaviest ones, you throw them in all the trucks, start with the next ones that go through. We'll start, that probably gets us past the wood league or something. Or is there leagues, or are we just minimizing score? Okay, let's do that. But I'm just going to get this synced. I'm going to select a file here, and where do I have this source/coding game? And this is going to be called the Great Dispatch.rs. Download the IDE to our file, and let's go open that up. Really? Well, I'm going to do it my smart way. And my challenge here at the moment is I know the data structures I want to use, and I have to get them in Rust. I need some dictionaries here. I need to know the trucks, and we're going to do this super silly in this really weird way. A truck. We need that. A truck has a volume, which is going to be an F64, I guess, and a weight, which is an F64. We're going to have a constant max volume. It's an, I guess this should be an F64. Anybody remember the max volume was 100? No? How much can a truck hold? 100. Okay. And how many trucks do we have? Num trucks. We'll make this a U size because it's what Rust loves. And what else do we need to know about this? 0 to 99. Nothing else we need to know. Okay, we have this, we have a truck, we have a volume, and somewhere here we're going to have to create a set of inputs. We could probably throw these in tuples. Do I want to do a state? Do I want to do... What have you written? Let's try. We want to put these in a weight and volume, so the boxes, let's boxes. Let boxes equal vector new, whatever this is. Boxes that push, and we're going to put a tuple here of weight, comma, volume. Actually, I don't like this. I'm going to put everything named. Because I don't like the whole syntax of .1, .0. I find it really distracting. Volume F64, weight F64. I'm going to push a box. Weight. I think we just do this weight, comma, volume. I think it already knows how to do that. Okay, so I pushed everything in boxes. We have all these boxes now. Then we have to have a set of trucks somewhere. I don't know how to create a whole bunch of trucks at once, so we're going to do it the awful way. Num trucks. Trucks.push. Let's do truck new. And we'll create an info for the truck. Again, part of the purpose of the show is not just to solve these things. We're trying to do actual Rusty stuff. And this will be the truck. Truck volume. Is it equal 0? Let me check the other one again. No, we have to look in Tron. What is impl? How do you do new? It's colon. I hate auto indent. I don't know how to turn it off yet. So I'm going to see if I can turn off auto indent. Or just going to keep complaining about it otherwise. Oh. Well, then I'll... Yeah, I guess crate's not a good option either, is it? Auto, let's look for indent. Editor, auto indent. Let's turn this off. Editor, auto indent. Wait. What does this actually do, auto indent? That looked like auto indent to me. I said no to auto indent. Well, it's ignoring us, so... we'll have to deal with it. Crate would work? It's not a type? Okay, let's go with that then. Let's get rid of mime type. Let's go to... crates. Push a crate on there. And we should be able to test this here now. Solar/coding game. And we're, again, for those people joining us, we're doing this all offline in a different editor because we have this syncing tool. Jasper actually wrote this one. It's wonderful, and it syncs the code in there. And we're doing it because online, pressing this play to see if the code actually compiles is extremely slow, and plus it cuts off all our error messages. So at least here, we can get proper error messages. Rust C the Great. I haven't figured out how to hook this up to Visual Code to get his click on in there, but this file contains an unclosed delimiter. I love that error. Where at least it gave us where it started. Oh yeah, well yeah, we didn't actually finish writing this. That was my fault. I just complained about the auto indent and then just didn't bother fixing anything. And this probably has to be F64. This is not. This is a comments function. Don't put a semicolon. Alright, what do we have now? Did you mean to close this delimiter? Impl truck. I probably forgot to save it, so that's why it gave me the same errors. Line 20, we have F64. These are supposed to be commas. Okay, well, crate's fine, but struct isn't. It has to be struct. That's a rather silly mistake. And again, it's supposed to be commas. I should actually be used to the commas, because in Leaf it's the same way. You put commas for types of fields. Well, in some cases for tuples, but not for classes. So, 64. Wait, F64. I deleted too much. Now I still have errors. Wow, I'm not typing well at all today. Sorry about that. I must be tired. Boxes, so I forgot to change boxes. So that'd be crates. And we can get rid of this thing. Okay, wait. First of all, max volume. This is actually one of the things that bugs me a little bit at Rust. If you have all this implicit typing, why can't you figure out that 100 is an F64? It's very explicit. But alas, no it's not, so we have the use size here as well. I'm going to delete this macro at the top because we don't need that. We have ePrint, and I should actually tell the code guys, coding game people, they can get rid of those because we have ePrint to do that type of stuff. Never use, never use, never use. We have lots of warnings. Ugh. The only reason I use the white theme, because I'm looking through the themes in Visual Code, and they're like all a variation of dark blue, which weird color patterns, or this white one. So I picked white because I think it looks better on streaming, because I notice a lot of times on streaming, if you have red against a dark color, like this red, you can't read it. It just it's something the MPEG encoding just destroys it. But the font, this is the font I use over in Kate back here, which has no files open. And I've lost you guys now. And what happened here? Okay, let's add a friend there. Thank you. I know, I opened up something. Thanks. Added you as a friend. So he gets all these... keep that above. This is the font I actually normally code with. I like this font. It's I've forgotten the name of the font. It's over here. Bitstream Vera Serif. I like the serifs. I find them so much easier to read. You don't have the 1 and I and L problem, and I really like this font. I think it's a really nice coding font, and it zooms well for scrolling every size, and it lets you put Unicode in. And because my own language is, I have a lot of Unicode. And because I write a lot of articles that have Unicode, I just have one font for everything. It looks really nice, I find. And I've lost track of what I was saying. That's fine. Field is never used. Field is never used. Unused variable I. That's fine. We don't actually need the box count there. That's the actually only one we don't need. Now, how did I say I was going to do this? I'm just going to walk through the trucks and keep adding crates. Alright, so for each box, we're going to find a truck. Call it current truck equals 0. Monospaced. Who wants monospaced? By the way, I'm going to convert these all to tabs as well, just to make this even more interesting. I usually make tabs for everything, because it doesn't work with spaces. So I'd like my code to look good. I don't know what you guys are with mono fonts. I don't know how your emoji, how does your emoji look in your font if you have mono space? I mean, you want like different size emoji. The box count, current truck. We just have to check to see if the space in the current truck. I'm going to say current truck index, so we can say let current truck, let mut current truck equals and trucks current truck index. Okay, if current truck dot volume plus equals box, plus box dot volume. I sure should do this while. Can I do a do-while loop? Is there such a thing as a do-while loop? Apparently not. Okay. I'll figure out the logic is greater than max volume. Oh, come on. Box count. Well, they gave it in their sample code, but it compiled. It compiled with box, so I don't think it is. Box count. Oh, box is going to be. Oh, come on. Let's put this as crate count then. Let's change all the crate count, crate count, crate count, crate count. And, well, it's crate now. Now, alright, before I go further here, we're going to have to say current truck index plus equals 1. We're just going to do it this way. We're going to do a loop. And we can actually just get rid of this here and put this down here. And just say trucks, not struck, trucks, current truck index. And yeah, just when you're asking about the font, no, my fonts are not usually this big. I do it for the streams, but they're only slightly smaller when I code my own, to be honest. Okay, so we keep looking for the first truck it can fit, then we add it to that truck. Now we're going to have to figure out the Rust bit, how I actually add it to that truck. So current truck dot volume plus equals crate dot volume. Yeah, okay, the highlighting of this crate makes me think this is a special word. Let's call it current crate. I don't mind. I don't like people that use really tiny fonts. Some people really love them, but I do usually. I mean, like I say, my normal fonts are not that much smaller than this. Why strain my eyes? Why do I want tiny fonts to go like this when I can lean back and read the code from back here? Can't reach the keyboard anymore, but you know I can read the code still. Let current crate equal crate's I. And what else do we want to do? So now this is where I love, well, not I love, I'm going to have to figure out how we do the sorting. What is mine actually set to, my font size? Well, technically my font size is 22 right now, which makes it pretty big. With font ligature, I hate font ligatures. Font ligatures screw everything up because nobody designs them right, and the fonts I have. Actually, I find it worse on Slack and WhatsApp are the worst ligatures. I don't know what they've done wrong, but they changed the size of the font. But I couldn't figure out a way to turn them off. All right, so now I'm fighting with. Do I want to say which? Yeah, I think the truck has to have a list of boxes. It's got to have some crates in it, I think. Vec type crate. And I think a crate needs an index. It's going to be a use size. Because I don't know how the sorting works, but I'm just going to track everything for now. And crates are going to have to be vec new. Index I, now we need I. This is the one thing I hate about these pop-ups, is just I end up pressing escape far more often than I ever actually select something from the list, but I'm still new to Visual Code and I don't know how to disable it, and sometimes it's helpful, but I end up pressing escape half the time. Escape, 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 escape. Alright, current truck.crate .push current crate. Now this is going to be a problem. We want to take a reference to the crates. Yeah, there's probably a setting. I don't know what it is. Completion. Well, I'm going to leave it on for now. Maybe I'll see. Yeah, I'm from Germany, if that's the question. I'm not German, but I'm living in Munich. Crates, vec new, and crate. So this should be borrowing it. We're probably going to get rust errors at this point as we borrow it. Crates.push. This crates owns them. Then I think we can borrow them. If we take a borrowing here. Current truck, but okay. I'm just going to compile this and watch what type of errors we have right now. Alright, so all sorts of errors. That's fun. That's lots of fun. Did you mean to close this delimiter? So you're right nearby. That's great. Are you enjoying the snow in Switzerland right now? Is it lots of snow there? It snowed today in Munich, but there's no snow left, as is typical. Oh yeah, okay. If auto indent, annoying. No. Yeah, that's why I tried avoid going to Norway in the middle of the year. I went there when I first got my current job. I went up there in January. So the first time I saw Norway was January. Wonderful. And lots of snow, but I love snow, so it was really nice. So if you're wondering, actually, the shows I do on Monday and Wednesday, it's for a company called Fuse, and they're based in Oslo. And so I'm supposed to go to Norway again here soon. I should probably go. But I want to avoid the snow. And like I say, it snows a lot in Munich, but it never stays. It just goes away. It used to snow more than it does now. And alright, what do I have here? Box. We don't have a box. Current crate. Vector crate. Expected lifetime parameter. Not found in the scope. Box count. Where did I put box count? 44. Crate count. Expected lifetime parameter. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What is a lifetime parameter? Okay, so guys, we need a lifetime parameter. Where did it say that? On 13. It's yeah, I watched Ferris' stream. I think I gave him a cheer that one time just to get my name up at the top, you know, to... What? On this line here, like this. Is that what you mean? Or you mean down on this line here? What on earth does this mean? Well, this is what I'm wondering is, yeah, there, so... What does this mean? Okay, but back to it, do I still have that there, or... No, do I still have the crate? Well... No, what did I do? I opened a window. No, no! Windows, go away. Okay, I gotta split. How do I close this? Alright. Great. Sorry guys, I'm sidetracked for a moment. I gotta figure out how to close this damn window. Split. I want to unsplit. How do I get rid of this? Right, you guys think of how they best store it. I just want the truck to have a list of crates that are in it. I need a list of crates as well. And I need this to go away. I need this terminal to go away. This is not very nice of Visual Code not to give me a menu option here. I have a split editor. Wonderful. But I don't have an unsplit editor. If I press this again, I'm going to get split more. Just close it. Okay, thank you. That'll work. I thought it would just go open more. Alright, so let's get back to the question at hand. What I want is I want the truck to store a list of crates that are in it. It's not the owner of the crate, but it needs to know what crate is in it. If you're saying this is too complicated, I can do an integer instead, because I have a list. I can just stick an integer here, but I thought it'd be better to store the actual crate. Alright, so, but we get a recommendation here to go look at the lifetime. Let's do this. Rust lifetime. Let's figure out what a tick does. We're here learning, so let's figure out what tick does. Results for lifetime empty. No lifetime. So I shouldn't use a rep. Okay. Based on Winter Squirrel's advice, he's been very good at us with the Rust stuff. We're going to do it the very old-fashioned C approach. I just want to quickly read what lifetimes are. Borrow checker. Okay, yeah, that's... Alright, so we're just going to do it the stupid way. It doesn't own anything. It has a reference to them by integer. I just don't care what they are. And then we can just push current crate dot index and not have to worry about that at all. So we don't have to worry about it at all then. Vec crate didn't work because it needs a reference. We don't want to copy the crate. We want an actual reference to it, or maybe we don't need to. We don't want to be index and crates. Crate count makes a use size. Create a volume. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't work. I mean, I do go back and look at some of my questions after, but I just, not all of them. Current truck. Current truck. Cannot mutably borrow a mutable field. What have I screwed up? Current truck dot volume. Why can't I modify that field? Yeah, well, it's moved by default, isn't it? My assumption was that if I had a vector crate up at the top, it would actually be moved, and that's definitely not what I want. I don't want it moved. I want to have a reference to it. I want to keep my list of crates. Okay, so what we have is we have... I'm trying to track an error now, and what do I have? I have... Y is current truck volume, cannot mutably borrow immutable field. Why is this immutable? Why are my trucks immutable? Volume. I hope it's not the volume that's immutable. You had to put and mut? Oh, that I didn't know. Oh. Aha. Okay, so if you want to take a reference to something here, you actually would have to put and mut. I didn't realize that. So what does this mut over here mean then? Oh well, don't worry about it. Okay, now we have to actually go to the coding part. What we have to do is, I want to do some sorting here. I want to sort crates. Now I have to figure out how to sort crates. And I'm going to do one other silly thing, so we can do this way. I'm going to say truck use size. Which truck is it in? Current crate dot truck equals current truck index. And we're going to increment the current truck index as well. Select the name so I could point to something else. Okay, that makes sense. We need something new. Sort crates by weight, I guess. You could set a different truck to current truck. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I'm guessing. I understand. So this would be this making the name mutable. If I took this off, I still have a mutable reference, but it's not the name. So let's see what missing truck. Fine. Truck. I'm going to say -1. There's not in a truck. Yeah. Crates dot sort by. I need to look up a reference here. Rust sort. Slice sort, vex sort. Am I sorting a slice? Probably the same syntax anyways. Okay. Got it, Winter. That makes sense. Sort. Well, that's not good. We need to compare something. So Sort, does it return? What does the algorithm have to return? Slices an array. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping the syntax is the same. Is there a vector sort? Maybe I should look at vector just to make sure. I really don't like this. That the reference to have two vectors. I don't know which one I'm using. Is there a sort? Well, there's no sort. Sort. Well, binary search looks good. Let's find a sort here. Sort compare. That looks good. Wait, sort by key looks better. What's the syntax of sort by key? That's what I was hoping Windows Squirrel, but I thought I'd go to vec just to make sure. Key extraction function. Alright, that makes sense. We need sort by key. And we need key extraction function. I have no idea how this works. We're just going to follow that. I'm going to say C, and we're going to say C dot wait. Now, they're missing one kind of critical piece of information in sort. I'm just going to assume this sorts in ascending order, but I want to do reverse order. So, if this is ascending, then let's resort it by reverse order. Would that do reverse order? Okay, and now we're going to sort them again. Crates.sort by key. C, when you C dot index. Now we're going to put them back in the right order, and then we're going to dump out which truck they're all in. And there's probably a mapping function to do this, and we'll figure that out later. And right, there should be a function in Rust. I think we've used it before, where I can pack all these things into a format right away. Print space comma crates I dot truck. Right, and let's see what errors we get. I keep typing create for some reason. I don't know why. Creates, crates sort by. Did you mean crates? Crates? I don't know what's for me. Crates. Oh. Oh, it's good. I'll say none. Let's make truck an optional. We won't use trickery. We'll use option size. We don't know what's in it. We don't know what truck it's in at the start. So it means we're going to have to do this. Truck is now some truck. And we're just going to wildly assume they've all been assigned. Because why not? Sort by key. No, not this crap again. Who decided F64 wasn't an ordered value? How am I going to sort by an F64 now? Come on. I want to sort by floating point. It's stupid. Shh, nobody look. 1E10 as I64. Yeah, that probably works. Cannot mutably borrow. Okay, we had the same thing down there. Let's check the closure version because I don't like this up here. Current crate is anmut. Okay, let's go back and look for a closure one. There must be a closure one. Sort by. It gives a comparison function, and it returns an ordering. All right, so let's copy that first. It's going to do a sort by. Just sort by. And what is ordering then? Ordering less, order equal, order greater. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to see what these are. 1 dot. Okay, so I do this. I'm going to close this off. Wait, it needs to take two values, obviously. A comma B. Let diff equal A dot weight minus B dot weight. Then we'll just match diff. This should work, no? How do I say less than 0? That's stupid. I'm sorry. If I have not a number in there, what do I care? I mean, this just makes it annoying. But okay, I'm not going to argue with that right now. I think it's really silly that you just can't sort something by it. But match should work. I like match, no? Because then I can just do something like this. I can do ordering less. Okay, yeah, got it. Ordering equal. I don't know. I hope this works. Let's find out. No. I don't know. Apparently no. Apparently no, it can't do that. Why can't it? Why can't we do that? Can we not do a Rust match comparison? It should be a pattern, no? That'd be really cool if we can. We have lots of stuff to read. Let's take Clinker's approach. It has the least amount of code. A dot partial comparison B dot unwrap or equal. Because we don't have nans in here anyway, so we don't care, and that looks better. And so I understand their argument about nan, because you can't compare a nan, so it returns an unwrap or thing. So unwrap or is a nice syntax. Something learned new here. That's good. All right. Okay, but unfortunately, we can't use partial comp on it. Yeah. So B, partial comp A. Oh yeah, well, okay, never mind. We need a B dot weight. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Cyclop. Put this on another line so we can read it. And then whenever I do that, I like to do that, so it's a bit more readable. Alright. Thanks for watching, Iron Codes. Catch you next time. We'll see how well we do. And ordering. Where is ordering defined? I don't know the keystroke to get back to the editor. When I'm in the terminal, I don't know how to get. All I know is close it. I don't know how to just go back. And I can get back to here. I put that keystroke. But line 56 is creates that sort by. I guess these are references. Alright, fine. Go for that. Don't want to move. Cannot move out of borrowed content. I'm not trying to move. Well, let's just do this. I don't. That was the original syntax. I don't know what I'm doing there. Okay, so that compiles, and we actually sort the crates. This should do a minimal implementation, yeah. But why don't I need a ref here? So, do I need ref here? Why don't I? Is it taking a copy of these? Is it moving these? I don't understand why I don't need a ref. Should I not need one of some kind? Alright, let's try it. Index is out of bounds. That's not good. Okay. Maybe reference. Reference by default would make sense, I guess. I don't know. Just do this. Max. Truck. Num trucks. Num trucks. They're like nunchucks, except they're num trucks. Reverse. Okay. I guess in this case it makes no difference because we can simply swap the ordering. Alright, try this again. Alright, so that one actually works. I'm guessing this is a really large delta. Why is this so slow? Okay, I guess these all pass because as long as we don't exceed the volume limit, we'll do okay, because this is an optimization. So let's just see where we are with this. And this will take approximately 60 seconds. That's just wonderful. I'm going to take a 60-second break then, and let's let this compile, and we'll see. You guys can watch where it goes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we get to... Now, there's no shortcut, but you can set up shortcuts called Workbench Action Focus Active Editor Group. Right. I wanted to know that. That's my... even have creeper shortcuts. Okay, what's it called? Focus. Focus. Active. Focus Active Editor Group. Let's call it Control 2, because why not? So Control that opens it. Control 2 goes back, and 1. I got them. Yeah, I got all the key searches. Thank you, Malachi, or yeah, Malachi. 5, 2, 1. So what do we get? We got 100%, obviously. We're not doing wonderful. And where's our ranking? Do we get a ranking here somewhere? I don't want to learn jobs. Where do I see the ranking? This is weird. Am I doing something wrong? What do we do wrong? We were doing no optimization. We were doing, yeah, I don't know where the ranking is. Kind of defeats the whole purpose. Completed. Just completed. Oh, rank 281. How do I rank 281 when it's been completed by 230 people? We've done so bad that we're worse than people that haven't played the game. Okay, so now this is a bit better. I'm 465. So they got some weird caching issue. 947 people started the puzzle. So we got that. We have a weight delta. I guess this is the total added, or what does that mean? Okay. And edA-qa is really really high here, and Koyan, one of our shoes as well. So you guys are all on here. Jasper's here, good. All my friends are up here. And so now we got to start swapping. 281. So we're back here. Go back to here, turn the editor on, use previously selected file, upload file to IDE. Looks good. Yeah, so I got, we can actually open that another one too. We can open another coding game. So we saw where we are. It's kind of encoded there. We're now to look at it anyways. Coding game. We want to look at probably not these leaderboards. Whatever. We saw where we were, or how did we get there? We can open up somewhere. Or actually, does this have leaderboards? Ah, right there. That's what you meant, leaderboard. Very good. Duh. But he was 4 outside, not 6, wasn't he? Okay. Okay, so this is tiny. So where are we at? We have a lot more than that. We're at 565. That puts us way at 281. Right, so some people have a lot worse. 12,000, this is impressive. This is really 12,000? Alright, so we're just going to start swapping. But now we want to... So this is an issue of how do we want to sort this? Do we want to sort the trucks? Probably. But I'm wondering how we keep them sorted, or how expensive this will be to sort. Well, let's not worry about the expense first. Let's worry about that afterwards. But I'm guessing if we keep them sorted, we swap them and see what happens. But I'd like to sort this out into something else. Trucks.sort by key. No, we can't sort by key because weight is not sortable. Comma B. We want the heaviest one first. Doesn't make a difference now. Let's just start with the heaviest one. B.weight.partial comp and A.weight. unwrap or equal. And I want to put some of this in a function right now, so let's do a first one. Let's do distribute crates. And this is going to have to take a crates mutable vector. The crates have to be mutable, not the vector. I don't know how to do this though. Every single time I type create and trucks, it's an unmut vector truck. I'm going to stick all that in there. Should probably call it first. Strip crates and mut crates every single time. Trucks, I could choose a word. That's why I chose boxes, probably because I can't choose crates. And I'm going to make a read function as well. Put the interesting stuff in the bottom, read input. It's going to have the exact same format here. Which means I should probably make a class, but I'm just not going to right now. And I notice a syntax error. Push everything. Let's hope this doesn't get us wrong. So we're going to do a read input. First thing we want to do is read the input, read input, and create. I can't believe every single time I type that thing, it's wrong. Calling a whole bunch of functions the exact same way, and I mentioned this in the interview questions, is a very good chance that you should actually organize these into one thing. And right, but let's just not do it. Emit crates. And mut crates, we're going to let them do it this way. Emit crates. Emit is uninteresting. Emit crates. That's why we stick it down at the bottom. Crate sort bat c.index. Index is where they were in the original one because it wants them out in the same order. As soon as we fast enough in the end, there'll probably be a faster way. I'm not so concerned. And so we emit crates. And now we want to, what do we want to do? Well, let's do it the really inefficient way first. Let's just do for I in 0, 1,000. Let's do 1,000 swaps. We need mutable crates simply because we're changing the truck item. And of course we're going to be changing the trucks. This is why I don't like using an index here. Because I don't think I should have to pass the crates in because the trucks know what have it. Because we can't take references, we're going to do it this way. And we'll... And this is the most interesting function, so let's put this one here. Trucks and vec. Trucks. Truck. It's just going to be expensive because every time we're going to sort it, and I know we can optimize this later because every time we do one swap, the sorting is going to be very, very similar. But we have a vector as well, which means it's not so good at sorting, and we could probably do some of it without sorting. We can walk through the list. You can go through the whole list once and swap from the other side. And yeah, let's just see. There's lots of ways we can optimize this, and I guess some of the guys in the lead thing have figured every way they could optimize that. But we'll just do the quickest way first, see if we can do anything at all. Let's just make sure we're still compiling. No crate count 67. That's okay. We can just say crates.len. Vec. What did I call that? 98. We said vector instead of vec. Okay, we're not using any of them, so we go. So now what we want to do is, when we sort the trucks by weight, we have the heavy one on the left, or in the start, and the lightest one on the right, and we're going to swap a container. You want to find the container that has the biggest difference. So let's check the difference in weight. First, we want to know this. Diff weight equals truck 0.weight minus trucks. Is there a convenience function to actually get the last one in there? Let's take a look. It's something a lot of things have, so there's probably like a last item or something. Do we have a last? First, last. There we go. Option. Well, it's kind of annoying. Or whatever. Correctness. Last.unwrap. It's an option, obviously, because the truck list could be empty, and in which case you don't have anything there. For consistency, I'm going to do first.unwrap as well. Don't have to, but we want to be consistent here. So now we have the difference in weight, and why was I looking for this again? I want to find a crate I can take from the heavy one and stick it in the lowest one. That would equalize their weight the most. And so do we find the one that's closest to the diff weight in each one? Or what do I do there? Do I just move one crate along, or do I always move multiple ones? And I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Well, we should definitely put the heaviest one into the smallest one if it's possible. So let's see what that gives us, if we can actually do that. And we don't want the heaviest one, the one closest to that weight. So we're going to find this minimum thing again. We're going to find the closest one. Wait, so let best delta equal, I don't know, how heavy are these things? 1,000's probably enough, yeah? 1,000 F64. Best index equal 0 doesn't matter yet. So for I in 0 dot dot. Which way I want this? And I'm just kind of trying stuff at random here right now. I mean, I think I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Just trying to get it to paper. It's always an issue when you have a thought in your head, you want to get it down onto actual code, then the logic goes away. So we find the one of the closest weight. And first truck dot, what did I call the thing? Crates. Alright, so diff is going to be first, now this is where it gets really annoying, crates, first truck dot crates I. This is why I wish we could have had a pointer to the crates, because this is getting annoying, we have to index all the time. Crates I dot weight minus diff weight dot absolute, I guess. Diff is less than best delta. Best delta equals diff. Best index equals I. You know, there's a chance we find nothing. If this thing is empty, It can't possibly empty. The first truck when we sort can't possibly empty, or, I mean, to be defensive we should check, but in our code there's no possible way this first one can be empty. So now I found the crate in the first one, and we should check the volume. It might not fit in the last one. So we really have to check. We really have to say, actually, let's do this again. Let's crate equal crates. I really shouldn't have. This is why I chose box, I think, because I really can't type crate. Alright, we're going to have to call it current crate because that looks like it's highlighting, and highlighting probably means it's a keyword. Current crate.weight minus diff.weight, and current crate.volume plus last truck.volume is less than max volume. So we can't take a crate that's going to stuff up the last one anyways. What I fear now is we're going to throw ourselves into a loop here at some point while doing this. The two stuck at the end. So we might just have to find a different way to do this. But I just want to try this first. Yeah. So we're going to call everything current crate. So this problem has been hand-tailored to be annoying for Rust, that words like box and crate come first. I'll keep that in mind for Leaf, yes. Current crate and box. Yeah, I don't like the choice of crate. Honestly, I don't like when languages get creative. I don't like when toolkits are creative, when they say things like crate and stuff. I'm happy sticking to common words like module and package, things that everybody knows. When you get creative, it's kind of like, it just adds more vocabulary people have to learn. I'll try to keep it simple when I'm working on Leaf to just things like package and module and see how it works. Alright, so I got this crate I want to move. So I'm going to have to actually implement a move crate function, I think, because we're going to probably do this a lot. Move crate. Oh, this is really yucky. This is really yucky. So best index. This is the best crate, then the best index. Actually, no, let's start doing this. Let's put this on truck. Truck's going to have an impl. Function add crate. Oh, we have a problem here. We need to have the original crates. We can't be sorting these the whole time. Actually, let's leave crates as sorted. And distributed crates, we're going to have to fix that first, because distrib crates, let's call it original crates. Let mut crates equal original crates dot clone. And we'll do the same thing in emit crates. The reason why we're doing this is because our indexes in the truck have to be the exact item. We can't be sorting crates on it. Hopefully, this does. Give them 50 seconds. In release mode, this won't cost us much at all. In debug mode, this is probably really expensive. Now, crate has to be clonable. How does that thing work again? I gotta check this one up. I derive clone debug. Let's just copy that one. Seems like a reasonable one. Truck doesn't need to be clonable. Copy anything, but this has to be cloned. And so we're going to add a crate, and we want to add to self. And this is where it gets really weird that we want to add, the crate has an index, so we're going to take a crate, and it's a crate, not a crate, it's a crate, and it returns nothing. And we're going to do crates dot push. Now it's probably a good idea to keep a sorted list here, but we'll come back to that later. a crate dot index. And if we stuck this all into a common state, we'd actually be able to know this if truck knew the state it was in. But that even creates more references. Remove crate and mut self. And yeah, it has to know the crate. Do we already know the index here? Crate best index. We do know the index actually. So let's give it one where we know the index already. And normally I type index, but Rust seems to love short words. So let's do crate index. And the index is going to be a use size. So crate dot vector, 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 my friend. How to remove something? Remove. Remove. Sounds good. Remove index. So we put that. We put it here. So we're going to take the first truck.remove crate index, and it's going to be and crate first truck. Wait, this is wrong. That's what I noticed. First truck.create I, and it's index I. Maybe we should pass it crates instead, but that's fine, it doesn't matter. And then last truck, add crate, and creates first truck dot. Oh no, we can't do that anymore. Let best crate equal this. Best crate, and so we're going to add the best crate. And that's it. That's our one swap. That's our one really, really, really expensive swap. Because we do a sort, then we do all this stuff, we find it. There's a lot of sorting we can do here to improve this. I mean, that is once we figured out all the errors. Self.crate. Oh, 27. Fine, fine. That one makes sense. Self.crates. So many errors with self. I'll keep pressing the wrong key. Creates I88. Where's 88? '82. Where did my code go? More errors. Okay, yeah. Fine. Now we get actual errors. Cannot borrow as mutable. First truck. Right. So we need to say it up here. Which we don't need it over here then, was the theory. Or not. Theory was we didn't need mut there, but okay, so now what's the issue? I need a mutable reference to the first truck. But it's not letting me take it. Why not? Why is this not a mutable reference? Why is this not... Was it another line? Oh, yeah. No, it's right here. Cannot borrow as mutable. First truck cannot be borrowed as mutable. And first truck is declared up here. And the line is right here. And remove crate takes a mutable truck because we're going to remove it. And first truck here has to be mutable somehow. So how do I get the first item out of a vector that's mutable? Guess it has to do with this unwrapping. Well, let me try the stupid way first. And mut trucks 0. Unless somebody can tell me how the Rustual way is. Well, that sucks. Are those mutable? I don't even know anymore. This is and trucks. Well, this has to be mutable though. Well, we end up in the same place. Alright, let len equal trucks.len. What do you mean I can't borrow from the same vector twice? Well, how do I do it then? Wow. Is there really no way to do that? Do I really have to index everything by index? Do I really have to say like 0 and len minus 1? Truck's first truck. Split at mut. I don't want to split it though. I don't want to split it. I want to modify it. Trucks. Just a view of it. So what does split off do? It gives me an at. How do I get just one then? Split first? Split last. Well, let's try it. I'm not sure if we're using that correctly, but we're going to find out. Ah, yeah, but unwrap. What kind of wacky type does split return? Split first. Oh wow, it's a tuple of some kind. Zero dot unwrap. Can I split the vector twice? Unwrap dot zero. Still can't borrow it. Alright, let's try what he says. First truck. Rest equals trucks first split. Let's get rid of this. And last truck. Come on, whatever, I don't know what that is. I suppose we have to do rest dot split last dot unwrap. Yeah. Expected identifier. So it doesn't like our let here. Do we go like this instead? Nope. Okay, so there's some syntax here. Okay, got it. Okay, what do we have? We're still stuck at the same error. Come on, we can't. First truck is not. Why is first truck not mutable? It clearly says mut first truck. What is edA-qa? You mean instead of the unwrap? No, okay, okay. What is edA-qa? edA-qa. Alright, so we'll try that approach first. Okay. Good, so let's try this again. We don't need length now. Let IM equal trucks dot edA-qa. Let first truck equal IM dot. I don't know how to use iterators yet, so bear with me. I think it's first or something. Next. Next. All right, let's try this first, and we'll do the other way too. Next. First truck. Let last truck equal IM dot last. Mut-im. I thought if the right side is mutable, it's automatically the other side. Alright, so that compiled. For curiosity's sakes, let's check if this one would work as well. Then we can decide which one looks prettier. Okay, they both appear to work. I can't say for sure which one looks better. The second one involves less code, I guess. Doesn't involve this. Both of them make a modified view, so I really don't know which one's actually better. So let's just try that one. So now we have actual code. Now this should do an actual swap. We don't know if the swapping is any good. So let's go back to the game and let's see if it actually still works. I lost my code again. Where am I? Index out of bounds. That's bad. Where did that happen? Answer 92. Swap at 92. We may have found nothing that actually fits. This is a problem. If we find nothing that fits, I don't know how that's possible, to be honest, but let's just deal with it. None. Or best index, that is none. Some I. Match best index. X. We'll have to figure something to do there. I'm not clear why we got the error. It's a bit weird. I mean, you have to be kidding me. Wait a second. There's no way it gave us 50 seconds. That was just not 50 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 50 seconds. No, it panicked. That's why. What did panic on? None value on. Option on RS 147. So trucks are not. We didn't put the crates in a truck. Okay. Oh, great. This actually has to be a mutable crate. No, it can't be. Because that's been index. Truck is an option use size. So this doesn't know the truck doesn't know its own index. Let's let the truck know its index. This is a mutable crate. I really don't like this setup, but okay. Crate.truck equals self.index. A crate.truck equals none. And when we create these trucks, wherever we read the inputs. Now, where do we create the trucks? Hello, trucks right here. Truck new I. Actually, just index should work. And we should be able to distribute crates. We should also be able to do this. Distribute crates, current truck, mont trucks, current truck dot add crate and mut current crate. That should be enough to add it. And wherever removed it, and mut, and mut. Expected option, okay, that's an easy one to fix. My personal opinion is that a value of the right type should automatically convert to an optional of that type. But, okay. I promise to try and limit my commentary until I know this better. Cannot borrow mutably. Alright, fine. Remove crate. Yeah, I see Rust really hates converting things. I don't know why it hates it so much. I think it's a symptom of its automatic type system that it can't deal with converting things because it doesn't know what type it's supposed to be. It's one of the problems with the Hindley-Milner approach, I think, is that you can't know which type to convert to or whether you're supposed to unify the types. It has no idea how to decide, so I guess they just decided it would never convert. I've taken a different approach in Leaf. Leaf loves converting things as long as it doesn't lose values. That is, you may not do a lossy conversion, but all other conversions are allowed implicitly. 117. Okay, to answer an earlier question, it looks like putting and mut on this side does not imply mut on this side. Let's see if this actually compiles now. Runs, I mean, it compiled. Yeah, 149. So I have something that's not in a truck now. That's what 149 is. How did a crate end up not being in a truck? How does that happen? So every time we remove the crate, we add the crate somewhere else. Do we add it to an actual truck? So we add it. We have a debug here, so let's print the crate. Print line. We could probably copy their input and actually run this locally as well. We don't have to run it there. So if this fails again, I'm probably going to just copy the input. But it doesn't show us the test cases, but we can copy it anyways. Crate, index, 0, truck, none. Okay, I know why. I know why. Okay, so I want to check that again. So you want to say that yeah, it was right here. It clearly did not accept this. Okay? It just doesn't accept it. But if I put that back, is there a version difference? I'm using Rust 1.21. Yeah, no, I see that. Do you have a different version of Rust? I got 1.21, and or is there something different here? Does it have to do with the fact you're using I and I'm using a crates of somehow? I don't know. Won't worry about that, but I understand what error we're making now. When we distribute these crates, I think. All right, you want to see the error again? It's. I'm just going to show Winter Squirrel the error again here. The error is here on line 125. Cannot borrow mutably and mut crate here without crate up here being mut. I'll let you think about that. Oh, okay, we've got it. We have an insight. Good to know. We're nobody's crazy here. We have an insight. I'm going to borrow the test case. I just want to fix the one thing. I know what the error actually is, so let me fix that. When we distribute the crates, this is where it's going to get really weird. The current truck is not supposed to... Right. We have to take the reference to the original crates. This is where it gets really wacky. Which means when we emit the crates, we don't have to sort them anymore because they were never mixed up in the first place. A reference to a reference. Oh my, the soul of C++ lives on. Pointers to references to pointers, wrapped in optionals. Alright, let's see what this does. Alright, well, it works, and I probably shouldn't have printed everything out. I don't think our delta's any better. What was our delta before? Let me remove this first. Let's see what our first delta is, and then we'll work from there. You should write this on the screen somewhere. 536. Good to know, Winter Squirrel, so I don't have to feel too bad that I'm terribly confused. And so, I'm going to try this again. 536.09. Alright, so our swap does absolutely nothing. We had 536.09 and we put 536.09. So, great. So what we're going to do first is we're going to find a way to read the input here. There's a link. No! Damn it, you took it to the wrong place. Yeah. CG local, brother, bro. No, it's not. Alright, this. What if I ever press the wrong button there? Am I in trouble? Okay, now. Open link, a new tab. That's a lot of boxes. Alright, but we can do that. We can do that. We're going to save this file. I'm going to save this as /source/coding game / the great dispatch test 01. Sounds good to me. .txt, just so we can open it without it complaining. What do I have again? Oops. slightly different. I don't think it's going to make a big difference for us, though. Maybe that mutt thing, but as Winter Squirrel said, there's probably something else I'm doing differently with the mutt. Okay, so if I do cat, I'm gonna have to reorganize this photo at one point. Point it to the Great Dispatch. No, okay, we need to do and cat. Downgrade. I don't want to downgrade. I don't even know. I just put the repository in and installed it. I didn't pay attention too much. Alright, Bash, I know you can do this. Why are you... What's open here? I honestly don't remember how I installed it. It was pretty straightforward, though. I followed whatever instructions they gave first on their page. Or... did I use Synaptic? Did I use apt-get? I don't remember anymore. But I used a really simple way. I think I used something like roundup, yeah. Now I'm fighting with Bash. Why does my Bash syntax not work? What's Bash waiting for here? Why does it not like me? It's an and. What is it waiting for? That's enough. They use 1.21 in Cody game. Memorian says they're using 1.15. I guess that's not... okay. That's not my problem at the moment, but... my problem at the moment is Bash not accepting my command here. Why is Bash not accepting this? Anybody see what I'm doing wrong? Because I don't know cargo yet. I haven't learned it. I guess I have to learn it at some point. I really don't know any... I haven't had to use it yet. The IDE doesn't require cargoes, so... what does cargo run do? Oh god, I don't know what this is. Oh, I have to add up stuff. No, I don't want any more. So, I want to know why this doesn't work, though. This is kind of annoying. Okay, well, let's just do it that way. Should have worked the other way, but... well, they gave us... somebody came up with that, the cargo stuff. Who gave it to me? So I actually have this link here somewhere opened. iPens actually created a Rust source build bundler for Code Game that actually apparently takes my cargo files and produces a single file. And I've been meaning to try this offline when I can split things off. But if this actually works, that would solve the problem. Then we could use cargo run locally. I think that's a good way to go about it. So now we're going to copy what I did in Tron and put a mort-ora-y debug here. And our main function is going to do something slightly different. The Great Dispatch in main is no longer going to emit the crates. It's going to emit crates if it's there. Otherwise, it's going to emit stats and crates. We should probably do some swapping. I don't know, I removed my swapping things. Something happened to my swap statement here, but let's check this works first. No. I guess we need a stats function. What is use again? Use standard env. And emit crates function emits stats, crates, and vector crate. No, I need trucks too. Yeah, trucks and vec truck. We're going to do that and emit and trucks. So we're going to say let low weight equals trucks 0.weight. Let high weight this is the only thing that matters, right? Is the delta between the highest and the lowest. So yeah, this should be fine. I don't even need the crates. At the moment I don't need crates, so let's do this. Yeah, low weight equals low weight dot minimum trucks I dot weight. High weight equals high weight dot maximum trucks I dot weight. And all we really need now is the delta. I'm going to do an ePrint line in case I decide to call this online as well, not that we mess it up and we don't know for sure. And this would be high weight minus low weight. And if we did this right, this should spit out the value of 536. Or an error. An error is really possible as well. Oh. Well, that's not what I was expecting. What is it actually measuring? Your heaviest truck and your lightest trucks. So what's it spitting out? Where's it getting this 536 from? I'm getting 45. This emit stats, is this possibly wrong? If I go from 0 to trucks land and I take the lowest weight and the maximum weight and I emit their delta, why do I get 45 and why do they get 536? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So we're calculating something differently. Or we're not updating the trucks correctly. Okay, let's kill that. When we add a crate, we push it, and the volume does plus a crate dot Ooh, there it is right there. There's our error. They do, but that wasn't it. You just saw what I fixed right here. I was adding the volume to the weights. They sum up the deltas over all the test cases, but we can just keep testing the one. There we go, 536.092. We get the exact same value. Good. So we have a local test case that works fine. And again, I'm using an environment variable right here because I found this is really helpful. Since I do an environment, it means we don't have to modify the code to run it exactly over here. It'll run the exact same thing. It just doesn't have that environment, so the environment here just won't be set. And I didn't choose something simple like debug because that might be set, and I'm pretty sure mort-ora-y debug won't be set. If they ever want to mess with me, they can define a mort-ora-y debug and suddenly all our code stop working. Okay, but let's figure out, I need to do a swap now. Figure out why swapping doesn't do anything. That's why we came in here for I and 0 dot dot. Let's do 1,000, and we're going to do a swap and mut crates and mut trucks. Well, we get a better value now. What did I fix? I didn't fix anything. Alright, we get a better value. I have no idea why. We didn't fix anything. So our swapping actually does something, which is nice. And our swapping is really, really slow. But I wonder how many we can get away with. My computer's probably faster than theirs. But let's compile it with debug mode anyways. Huh. Alright, so our swapping algorithm just like bottomed out. It did something stupid. Oops, that's what I wanted. Alright, so we're gonna have to improve swapping, but at least with 314, let's submit this and do a top. Let's check out what the jobs are. What bank is London or Hong Kong? Well, there's nothing in Germany, so, you know, Python, C++, and Java. Anybody want to bet it's Java position and not a C++ position? You know, that would be... They're just luring in the C++ guys. On the desk, training specific to your desk assignment. I have no idea what that means. On the desk, training specific to your desk assignment. That's really a wacky training here. I really hope it's not the US office that came up with that description, because that's some weird English there. Constructive feedback sessions through performance evaluations. Opportunity. This is opportunities to interact with senior bankers and network with peers. I don't know if I should really be making fun of these things. I mean, we're doing coding, but this is... Like, who writes this stuff? I mean, this is really silly opportunities. Yeah, you get to interact with a senior banker. I mean, that's like really high on my list of programming career goals. What do you need? Strong programming experience, ideally in Python, C++, or Java. Okay. Statistical data analysis, other preferred skills, numerical optimization, compilers, programming language, Monte Carlo simulation, and good understanding of basic financial math, great communication, ability to work independently, about a top global US bank. This almost sounds like a name. On the Thanks, Krasek. That Crazed Cat. Thanks, Crazed Cat. Potentially spin. Interactions, it works for, yeah. That's like really, that's like point number 4, like the advantage is you do not have to work with senior bankers. Just go to your coding and don't deal with them. Quantitative strategy groups. So yeah, this is, I bet it's Java, and we should actually make a game, figure out which bank this is, because if we went and looked at the job pages for all banks that headquartered in New York, London, and Hong Kong, it may sound like a lot, but there's only so many international banks, and there's only so many probably advertising, but let's go back to the problem. Hey, we failed. Uh-oh. How do we know why we failed? No, Zaglab, everybody, it's, you know, we want to work with mid-level bankers, not senior bankers. They're great for going out for lunches with, though. Yeah, I agree that the C++ position, there are definitely C++ positions in finance, and it's a matter of getting them, and maybe they're keeping the ad open because they have a lot of positions, and they probably have a lot of Java stuff in there, but they actually need a few guys doing the efficient stuff low at the bottom, and that would probably be C++ then. And yeah, the C# and Java is going to be all the interfaces, the high-level stuff. And when we did our finance interface, we actually did it in Qt, so it was all C++, and it worked wonderfully. It was really fast, and our requirement was something like we had to support 8 monitors filled with little live trackers of markets in real time from one app. So that was quite nice to do that. Yeah. Word of advice: don't get into low-level stuff in C++ if you can avoid it. You know, I know finance pays well, but it's really, data races are so much fun. I guess that's the point of what Rust is supposed to do, is solve data races, and it probably creates its own headaches, though. Yeah, I'm actually quite good at C++. I've done a lot of it. My compiler's in it. All right, but let's go back to here. Do we have any way of figuring out why we failed the test case? Like, how could we fail a test case? Well, I think Winter Squirrel, that's part of the problem with like these C# and Java jobs is it's not the language so much as the project you get stuck doing with it. And there's some, I mean, I use C# at work. I guess technically we use Uno, which is a variant of it, and we do some cool things in it. I mean, there's a lot of drawbacks, but it's not a typical C# project, and I guess that's part of it. So does anybody have any idea how we can figure out how we failed this, other than just manually go through it? We have no idea why we failed. Let's try again. Okay, so how could we have possibly failed? Let's do a validator as well. So you don't like systems where there's like one legacy system with another one in front, another one in front, and people just keep doing adapters until you have this legacy mess somewhere, and you know, yeah, that's no fun. New systems are more fun. It's fun building the initial legacy. I think I've done that a few times. Let's upload it. Okay, so I think we have to put a validator in here. Emit stats. Okay. If trucks I.weight volume, we're going to print out some nonsense. ePrint line. Is overweight. Weight at nose over volume. The one thing I miss in languages like C# and Java and even Python, or not as much Python, but C#, there's so much redundancy. It's a lot better than Java, but there's just a lot of redundancy. I mean, once you get used to C++ templates, you really like them. You can do everything in templates. There's so much redundancy reduction. And I'm just writing another article now about macros. I mean, macros aren't the greatest, but they reduce a lot of code too. And I really miss this. When I do C#, I occasionally just like, just give me a template or give me a macro. And when the language misses that, you often feel constrained. The languages, C# just doesn't have as many features as, say, C++, and Java went the route of just like lots and lots of redundant typing, and it's really unfortunate because I like Java because the VMs behind Java became like really nice because the language allowed you to just basically not care about crap that VMs had to accommodate really inefficient code, and so I think the VMs behind Java are really efficient and really nice. A lot of nice technology there. Just the language typically used on top of it, not so much. Alright, so we have an over volume. Must be something over volume. This error originates in a macro outside of the current. There's one argument. Okay. Right, yeah, I. Alright, so we're going to have to logically debug the code and figure out, can we create a truck that has too much volume in it? When we first distribute the codes, the trucks, distribute crates, we take all the crates, we order them, we go to each truck. If we take the current volume plus the current crate volume is less than max volume, it's okay, then we break. Otherwise, we keep going through. We keep looking for a truck, and we assume they fit. So we can't produce over volume here. So we think. So now when we do a swap, what do? If we have a better fit, so we have something close to the right weight, and it's less than max volume. Current crate volume plus last truck.volume is less than max volume. So we can't actually add something higher than max volume here as well. And because they're not giving us the test case where we failed here, this is going to be a real problem figuring out where our error is. We have nothing to go on here. What could we possibly be doing wrong to create something above? That's the only condition. There's something above max volume? Or we're missing a crate? No, because we either do nothing. So if swap finds nothing, that's totally okay. And swaps finds something, we remove the crate from the truck at this index, and we add it to the last truck. Let's double check those codes again. Remove crate at index. We already knew the index, we passed it in. And self.volume, we minus the volume, we minus the weight, and then we set the truck to none, so it's not in a truck. Then we add it, self-crates.push a crate.index. We add the volume, we add the weight, and we set the truck to the index. So, what gives? Anybody have any ideas on how we can debug that? We don't need 1,000 now because we have a best index of none. I'm at a loss here. It's not going to show us our output either. There's just no way to get the output, which is really problematic. So how do you debug completely blind? Any other 0 to 100. Truck make your next volume 100, blocks of 100, in the blocks volumes. Ooh, in order to be eligible to apply to a top U.S. bank, your code must succeed all validation tests with a total score of less than or 1. Okay, so if we want to meet, let's make our goal to meet a senior banker, okay? Then we can do that. And So we pass them all. What do you think we fail on? Is it possible we take too long in the one test? That wouldn't make sense because the other ones are more. But our swapping sucks anyways, so... How many swaps do we actually do? I bet this is probably still fine. How many swaps are we doing? So we're doing like one swap. Well, I'll show you. Let's submit this again. I lose the sync to my code, but I can submit this again. The error gives it right over here. Should I reduce the number of swaps? Maybe it's not doing it now. So there's 60 seconds. This is based on the length of our program, I guess. Because the program is allowed to take 50 seconds. They're just taking the worst case scenario. They're not accounting for us being really fast because we don't do anything. And just trying to show you where the error is again, and I can't find any output here. I can't see any way we could possibly debug it. One of the tests just fails on us. We could just keep going with it and hope for the best. Because we don't have to. We can assume we fix the error at some point, but that seems a bit dangerous. "60 seconds is a long time." It's not our code taking this. Right? This is the error we have right here. We have nothing. We have zero output. It's the simplest test case as the one that failed. And we actually have zero output. And it worked before we did the swapping. Yeah, this is Winter. I really have no idea how to debug this. I mean, because we can't, there's nothing, absolutely no way we can instrument the code. And each test is going to take test cases. I get surprised that these ones worked and these ones didn't work. It's something with the swapping. But since we don't have that, but how could this, so if we took the swapping out, let's just verify again that we're actually every single time we're going to have to connect this together. Let's see if it is swapping so we can at least narrow it down this way. This is like the slowest turnaround time I could possibly think of, 60 seconds to actually see if a single line of code change does anything. Because it did work once. So the only thing we added was we split out the functions and we also did the swapping. But it's hard to imagine the refactoring got screwed up because the other functions work, because the other tests work, I mean. I'm hoping this succeeds because then at least we have a minimal idea of where the defect is. At least we could say it's in the swap function. I mean, I've validated the swap function a couple times now, but at least it gives us that idea. And this would be a very, very slow turnaround though if I have to start breaking it down even more than that. But I can't even think of any other way we'd fail. And there's absolutely no way to put a check thing here. We just can't fail. Well, and Coin, that's what I was thinking first of all, but if you look at the test cases, we passed the 2,000 boxes case. So it's highly unlikely that our 702 boxes case takes longer. Does that make sense? And it's still failing though, which is really weird. We did pass it at one time. Yeah, that. I mean, that helps us a lot. We know it's not swapping. We know it's our basic code screwing up on something. So it's our refactoring definitely screwed it up. because it was working before. So swap's not an issue. I'm going to guess read input is not the issue. So distrib crates is the issue. So distrib crates takes the original crates and creates a clone and sorts them by weight. That's fine. There is an infinite loop here. I mean, there could be an infinite loop, but I'm just assuming the boxes are going to fit in the trucks. Is there any way if we distributed, if we started assigning from maximum weight down to lowest weight, are we going in the wrong order? What order are these things? Maybe I'm sorting the wrong order here. Creates edA-qa. That's quite possible. I meant weight. I did. No, we're so we're definitely taking the heaviest one first. Is it possible we somehow can't stick them all in there due to the volume? Well, I know how to improve this strategy here. Instead of just entering to the trucks, I should actually just take the heaviest items, stick it in the first truck, and for every subsequent truck, just keep inserting until we get closest to that weight. But could this actually be screwing up here? Could it be possible that we don't find a truck? Could there actually be... No, that's just not possible. Is it? Or could we actually distribute the volume to the point where it doesn't fit in any of the trucks anymore? Huh. I know, this is the only thing I could think, is that this loop here, but this worked before. We did exactly this before, so it has to be something else, because this actually worked before. Yeah, but we actually submitted, we saw it, we have a score, and we didn't change this algorithm, so it must have actually worked. No, Ophelia, because what I'm doing is I'm looking until I find one when this condition is true, and that means I found the correct crate. And because otherwise it stays in the loop. It stays in the loop until we have one that's less than the max volume. If we never find one, it'll go forever, but it actually did work once. And it seems unlikely that we can't pack them in there. I mean, if it's based on volume, there's always going to be places left. Except no, if we put the max volume ones last, we could in theory actually screw it up. But we did it the first time. That's what... So let's just to confirm this theory, let's stick the biggest volume ones in first. This is just going to give us an awful score. But there's not much we can do if that's the case. Well, I can confirm it this way too. I can sort by volume, because that's a guarantee they all fit then. I think. Yeah, if I take the biggest volume ones first, it's a guarantee they're going to fit, or they've given us bad input. And we still get the same score, which is magically weird. Alright, let's play all the test cases here. That's really weird that it gives us the same score. Which makes it strangely suspicious. Ho hum, ho hum. Well, let's see. Let's see if it submits it. Go through it again. And what could we be doing wrong, right? Distribute crates. We don't swap. Ah, no, I know what we changed. This. This has to be crates I.index. That's what changed. So this sort, we actually don't, yeah, we actually don't need to sort the full crates. We don't need to clone. We only need to do the indexes, but I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm reasonably certain that's what we screwed up. That's why the sorting made no difference, and it's just going to fail on us again. And look, we get a much better score when I fix it. Actually, no, it's a worse score because we had 56. Oh, that's right, because that's the total score. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Let's find out. So let's try this again. Set this back up. Use the same file. Those values are smaller, which makes sense, because we did the wrong thing. Whether our total will be any difference. I really wish I could submit without leaving the screen, but okay, let's make sure it works, and that would at least fix the error. There's no swapping done here. Our swapping isn't working very well anyways. Okay, so now we have the score again. Now we have the original score. That's actually, this is worse than before. Somehow. I'm pretty sure this was the, I don't know how we have a worse score, to be honest. Okay, not my, let's do, well, I'm going to have to talk to this Jasper guy to see if we can make this automated. Is there a way to do this? Yeah, I don't like that, but, yeah. Was it the same score we had, though, or I don't need more and more? Oops, not one thing. That I wanted. Okay, let's put some swapping in. Okay, let's see what we get in our test case. Test case is 133. Let's do some swapping and see if we can improve the value, or whether our swapping is stupid. Swapping helps. That was 10 swaps, give us a lot. Let's see how much 100 swaps gives us. Click on the results. Okay, I guess that was always the score we had. That was the first one. That was the last one. So we've made absolutely no improvement in 2 hours. Wow. Okay, we've got nicer code for it. We have much nicer code. There must just be a penalty if you miss something. Whatever. Okay. So 100 swaps, what would that give us to? Our swapping already fails at 98. Let's submit it anyway so we at least get a better score. And then we're going to have to actually figure out the swapping, why the swapping isn't working. I mean, it's an expensive swap, but it should at least always fix something. What? Alright, so that's weird. That's really weird. Okay, but at least we know well enough that our swapping is failing bad. So 100 swaps should make a difference. And actually, let's do this. Let's do it just for debugging. Emits stats and crates and trucks each time. We can see how we're getting better each time. So we do 2 swaps. Do you think I submitted the old code? Should have been new stuff. Well, let's figure out what the issue is here, niggas. Oh, was it slightly better, you mean? Oh, okay, it is slightly better. There we go. Slightly better. I thought that wasn't what was reported on the screen, though, was it? Oh, whatever. Okay. So we do 2 swaps, though, and after the second swap, we fail bitterly. Which is not good. Which means I'm doing something... I don't know why it's happening. Let's just do 10 because we can see it. What do we want to swap? So a swap sorts the trucks by weight. Does that make sense? Maybe, maybe not. We take the first and the last truck, we take the difference in the weight, and we find the one that has the closest difference to that weight. We find that one with the closest difference, and we shuffle it off. And I'm going to ePrint line here. Nothing. Nope. No debugger. It's working on it. It's like working with a caveman here, isn't it? Nothing, 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 nothing. We'll just start doing it this way. I don't mind doing it this way either. I mean, it's... The diff weight, what is it looking for? Diff weight. And first truck dot weight, last truck dot weight. Yeah, you're probably correct. And Koyan, that makes a lot of sense. But our swapping should also work, so I'm going to fix swapping because it looks like swapping is going to be critical. Did I screw something up? Yeah. Thanks. Okay, 98, 98, 98. Well, how can it find nothing? Like, that's not actually possible. Is it? No, because it means absolutely everything in the last one, it has no volume left. So that one must have no volume left. So let's check this volume. So one of them must be nearly full. And that's why I can't add anything, is because it's stuck with volume. You mean in here somewhere? Not quite sure what you mean I'm looking for. Alright, but this, I think this confirms it. If you look at the volume of that last truck, it's at 98. So that makes a lot of sense. It can't find anything. Yeah, I'll look at debugging later, but I actually like debugging with printing and stuff. When I'm dealing with large data sets, like, I find it really hard to use debugger because you have to clear it. So what we need is that there's no max volume here. We need to like swap a different truck then. How do we swap a different truck? Well, that's kind of depressing that the one with the highest volume has the lowest weight, so we have to get something off of it. We have to get rid of the volume somehow. So what do you do with a truck that's full but weighs nothing? Trying to think of how to do that. So this truck is full, but it's the lowest weight one. We need to stick something in it, but we need to make space. And so that's what this thing implies, that if we need to make space, here we need to do something. We need to clear truck. And I had to figure out what clear truck is going to do. It's going to take all the crates in that one and just spread them around. I don't know, there's probably some other solutions here, but this is the one I'm going to try. Because it's something that seems reasonable that it would actually come up. We have a truck that's full with stuff, but it doesn't weigh anything. And you can't move anything into it until you move something out of it. And I think if we just loop through it and find a home for each of the other ones, and that just basically redistributes it. Unless there's nowhere to put it, but we have to assume there's space there somewhere. And I think edCoin's approach where we distribute crates would avoid the situation a bit better, but it still could in theory come up. So what do we have? We have last truck again. It's not going to let us borrow this again, is it? Assuming there's volume in the truck I'm coming from. What if the truck I'm coming from is also full? I guess I'm getting rid of something. I would like to try it this way first, for no other reason than I want to, and because I think it'll actually work. Because I don't think you should swap with the truck you're coming from. That if there's no space in the target one, I think you should distribute the weight somewhere more. It might be more efficient than a swap, although it might be a lot slower. You're absolutely right, it might be a lot slower, and I would reduce the number of iterations I can do. Actually, we're just going to use numbers again. We're going to do this. We're going to say equal trucks.len minus 1. I'm going to loop say while trucks last truck dot volume is greater than 0. We're just going to just take everything out of this thing. But I'm going to see if this compiles first, because I have a fear that something's wrong with the compilation here. Yeah. I knew this would come up. How do I kill the lifetime of these? This gets annoying. I mean, I just want to create a function. This makes it hard to create functions, and I can't just pass them in. I have to get rid of first truck and last truck before I can... Alright, we'll do it this way. Is it bool? True. False. If not, swap. I'm going to have to learn those other techniques at some point, but... Whoa. Consider removing this semicolon. Expected bool found... Oh, I've seen that one before. That's right here. Okay, so let's go back to our clear truck. Yeah, this is just, for such things here, this is just kind of annoying. It just makes it really hard to break off into functions. And where do we want to distribute these crates to? We're going to find a home for it, and what do we want to find a home for each crate? Let move crate equal trucks last truck dot crates dot len -1 move crate index. Doesn't have to be a mutt. Let move crate equal and trucks. No, this is just and crates. Move crate. Damn it, I keep typing create index. Well, actually that should work. It's mutable, that should work fine. Trucks last truck dot remove crate index is the move crate index. I'm going to take it out of there first. So we take it out, and where do we stick it? Where do we want to stick this thing? These are the lightest boxes, so let's just find one with the lowest weight and or lowest volume. So let's not think about it. Let's just find the next one with the least volume now. It has to fit somewhere. I think we all agree that it has to fit in some other one, so I don't have to worry about terminal conditions. And where do we stick it? How do I do a reverse list? Can I do last truck -1 ... 0? We're going to find out. Trucks I dot volume plus move crate dot volume is less than max volume. Then we'll stick it here. Trucks I dot add crate move crate and break out of that. I hope this breaks at just that loop. And what does that do? Gives us errors, of course. Oops. Still getting used to the keystrokes. Well, let's see what the error is first before I get complained about it. Types differ in meter. That's fine. Move crate. Test it. And move it as well. Cannot borrow is mutable. Cannot borrow is mutable. Oh, come on. Why not? Because it's not mutable. Alright, so we're going to do a backtrace here as well. Maybe the reverse list doesn't work. Line 122. Okay, I think we have an error because this can't have a... This volume should not be greater than 0 if there's no crates in the truck. And... oh crap, we're doing like floating point precision here. So let's actually just move the crates out. I'll just ignore the floating point precision for now. Alright, so this is... our volume went back up. We at least move stuff around. And... so whatever we're doing in swapping is not necessarily helping. Let's see if there's anything else I can do quickly here. So why would my swap not be working? There's something logically wrong with it. So ignoring that clear, I think there's something wrong with swap. If I weigh them, I take the highest weight. Is that what it is? I have the highest weight? No, I need control 2. I'm in the wrong file, no wonder it's looking weird. But Windows World, apparently reverse lists work. So that's fine, that's cool. So the first truck weighs 401, the last truck weighs 268, and the difference is... alright. So it moves it over. Nothing there. It empties out the truck. And the difference becomes really big because the last truck is empty now. And that could actually make sense. If I actually do this approach, and this is the danger of this approach, I'm going to have to do a lot of swapping to make sure I get back to a reasonable state. Because when I empty that out, there's a massive delta. And it's not actually helping any. We've got an infinite loop here. Well, I think that the reason I need to swap, though, the clear, and I can't really put the minimum because Maybe I shouldn't clear it. Maybe I should just throw one item out. I need to do this a different way. I need to ignore this volume here. I'm going to say, okay, this is good. And I can't call another function here. What I want to do is I want to say if. Now I want to put a greater than. Now I want to say ditch 1. And this is a pain. I can't call another function here because I have mutable things already. So I have to like do the code inline here. How can I do this? How can I do this? It's very clear what I want to do, but I cannot use a function because they already have immutable things. Man, this makes it really hard. A lot of very basic algorithms are very hard in Rust because of the mutability stuff. So I can actually do something here inline, but then I won't be able to move it to a function. Fine, we'll do this. I don't know how to do this. No, come on, I don't want to do it inline. I'm just gonna make an error if I do it there. How else can I do this? Yeah, that's my opinion too. I mean, if the purpose of Rust is to defeat data races, and I assume that's the sole purpose of this is to defeat a data race, then if the moment I enter unsafe code, it removes the entire purpose of that, and I'd have no purpose using that at all. But let's do this. Let's put this back in, and just for curiosity's sakes, what we're going to do is we're going to execute this line just once. We're going to say if instead of while. Just move 1 out, and that'll actually do the same thing I intended, except in a much more inefficient fashion. Memorian, I'm assuming no. The reason I'm assuming no is because I'm assuming the input to the problem is such that there's always some truck with enough volume to store a random box. That there's no possibility we've arranged the volumes such that I have one that can't fit anywhere. That could technically be incorrect, but I'm assuming we must have enough volume to spare, because otherwise it's going to be so hard, the problem. So I'm making an assumption, and it's going to crash horribly and if it doesn't assume that. Does this actually get better? No. It's probably swapping now into 2 other ones. Let's go find the one with the lowest volume. Let mut low volume index. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm assuming it's not going anywhere close to that, though. Yeah, you're correct. This is non-inclusive. It doesn't get to 0. But I can't put a -1 there, I guess. maybe we should do Winter Squirrel's approach of saying 0.last truck dot reverse. That's technically more correct. Low volume index is last truck minus 1. Equals trucks. Low vol index dot volume. I'm going to say if trucks I dot volume is less than low volume, you could swap max weight truck versus all other, then do the same with min weight. I'm not quite sure I understand that yet. I'll assume this found something. Super slow. Volume. I'm curious about that. What was the difference here? You know, it's wow, that's rough, Incoin. Is that what you actually end up doing? Right, so I've got multiple threads of thought here. You think it's rev, you think it's a bracket. So I'll just do both of your suggestions at once. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to do something there. Incoin approach is probably going to work better. We don't need to print so much here. I'm going to start getting rid of the printing. I want to see what happens if we submit this. We probably have a terrible score. Where's my game? So I think of what Ncoin says. We have to figure out the strategy how we swap. And what I'm doing now for swapping is obviously not sufficient. The idea was too simple. We take the. Do I take the heaviest box? No, I take the box closest difference and try and swap it in there. And uh-oh. Why is it taking so long? What am I printing out? ePrint. Oh, I know what I'm printing out. In the main function, or wherever it is. I'm printing the stats every time. Truck 65 already full. Uh-oh. We don't get that error, and we're using the same input. Why do we not get the same error? Truck 65 is already full. We screw up somewhere. Now I don't know what I fixed. Now I don't know what I did wrong. I have... How can this be... So we make an error in the static stats here. I think it's getting too late for me to think about this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to call it a night. I need to keep edCoin's thing in head that we're gonna have to swap. We can't just take the heaviest, lowest. It's just basically take the heaviest one and swap it with a bunch of other ones and figure out which one produces the better delta, and let's go with that. And then do the same with the minimum. And there's many ways we can do that. We just gotta find a quicker way to do it. And I gotta work on some Rust syntax because I have a hard time splitting this off into functions. And I'll figure out what my error is here. There's something, one of our truck algorithms is wrong because we do emit the stats here and they have a different answer, so I assume we did something wrong. But for today, I think that's where we're going to go. We understand the problem. For next time, Thursday? If I get a chance on Wednesday, I might. But Thursday, at least Wednesday or Thursday, I should keep working on this. And then we can try and fix that, because then we can spend the whole time actually just modifying this and swapping. We should be able to get a lot better score. We know for sure we can't get to the top because of the debug mode, but at least we should be able to get quite high. It's just a matter of figuring out the swapping. I mean, as long as our swap is producing a better delta, then it's just a matter of optimizing it. Every swap should produce probably a better delta somehow, and as long as it's doing that, we know we can just keep increasing the number. But I think I'm going to call it a night again. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your help. The Rust syntax is definitely helpful, and it's still learning a lot of the stuff. I got to figure it out. I might look into the crate thing so we can split this up into crates. I might have to look at other ways to split up functions, or I might move this into a static structure. There's other ways to do it maybe. But thanks again. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, you know, the standard deal, and like my videos on YouTube. Also, it helps a lot. Share them. The more interest we get, the more exciting this is. And also, sign up for Coding Game. Add me as a friend if you haven't already added me as a friend, and I'll add you back, and we can compare scores and just see where we are. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll watch again. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Fuse stream. That's around 3 in the afternoon, a bit earlier my time, and then Wednesday as well. Otherwise, we'll see you Thursday or Wednesday night. Thank you very much.